The Hilton Honors American Express Aspire card, the flagship credit card of the legendary Hilton brand, has some enthusiastic and powerful supporters of the product out there. Let me just say, if you can get great value from this, I respect that. But I've looked at this from every different direction and I just don't see it. This card is being pushed as one of the best cards out there today. But for the normal traveler, it's actually an expensive trap. And I'll tell you exactly why. So before we dive into this card, I want to give a little bit of background because this is going to be important for the entire video. If you're in the 90% of people who I'm going to call the normal traveler out there, 2 to 4 trips a year, maybe one of those is a longer vacation, you care about credit cards in a way that if they give you good value and you can actually get your money out of it for investing and giving your support to a brand, then you're all in because annual fees and getting your money's worth, that still matters today. This is going to really relate. However, if you travel a ton and you take multiple vacations a year at resorts, you're flying all the time, and annual fees don't really mean too much because you care more about the perks than the actual cost of those, well, then this video is going to seem very out of touch, and you're going to think I'm a little crazy for saying the Hilton Honors Aspire card is not what you've been sold. So this video is for the 90%, not the 10% of travel credit card hackers out there, because I admit this card can be powerful in the right hands. But for most, this video is a bit of a warning, and I want you to follow along and think about your own situation as I break down the Hilton Honors American Express Aspire card, because it's not all it's cracked up to be. Let's start with a card overview so we're all in the same place. The Aspire card is the top card out of 3 different ones you can get with Hilton on the personal side. They are issued by American Express, which is kind of known for having premium annual fees and boosting their credit cards across Hilton and other brands to the top of their competitors for what you're paying to hold them. The Aspire card costs $550 a year, which is quite expensive for a credit card in general. The card earns Hilton Honors points. You'll earn 34x back when you book at Hilton hotels and resorts. That's 20 base points that you get from your status as a guaranteed diamond member holding this card, and an extra 14x you get back for being a credit card holder. You'll get 7x back on select travel and dining, and 3x back on everything else. Now, those are high multipliers, but what also comes into play is the cratering value of Hilton Honors points. The points guy currently values Hilton Honors points at zero point 0.4 cents a piece, which means you're not getting a lot back even if you have a lot of points stashed up. On the top end, if you're a credit card and travel maximizer and you're booking luxury properties, you may be able to realistically get between 7 to even a cent a piece for each of your points. However, I've looked at some more realistic, normal priced bookings, and I've seen valuations as low as 0.25 or zero point 0.3 cents a piece either, and that's really bad no matter what card or what point currency we're talking about. But what really matters when you look at a card and whether to spend on it in its different categories is your overall return on spend. I made a chart here breaking that down for the Points Guy's standard valuation. If you're spending in travel, dining, or at Hilton's, this isn't a bad card to spend on. But if you're spending a lot on other purchases, you're really losing out in a big way. However, what the card earns is a little less important than the benefits that the card holds. Because when you're paying for a $550 card, well, you need to be getting a lot back from Hilton and the different features of the card to really make it worth it. I want you to not only get the money you paid in back for it, but I want you to get way more out. And I'm going to show you why I think that doesn't happen benefit by benefit. However, before we break down what's going to expose this card more than anything else, I want to share with you the luggage that I now carry when I travel that's changed the game for me. And that's from the sponsor of today's video, Away. Now, if you're someone who travels even just a few times a year, I've learned from personal experience that it matters what you take with you on the road. What I used to do was just throw my clothes in a cheap suitcase or this beaten down duffel bag. I didn't really give my luggage a second thought. However, when I did that, I quickly realized 2 things. One, what you're taking with you, especially to business meetings or different functions, it gives off a certain impression. And 2, if you're bringing low quality, old, dirty stuff with you, it doesn't set the tone for the rest of your trip. Because what I've seen and experienced firsthand with Away quality products was when you're presentable, organized, and professional in your approach from when you pack for your trip all the way from when you return back at your home airport. You're going to set yourself up for success in all areas of the journey. Just recently, I went off to some business meetings in Indianapolis, and it was a trip perfect for my garment duffel from away. It had all the functionality and different pockets to carry everything I needed. Plus, it looks really sleek. In my opinion, it's the little things that matter, and the luggage you carry is a part of that. I'm excited to say Away gives me all of those things, and it's giving something to you as well. Because when you're a channel viewer, you'll get 10% off using the QR code on your screen now, or just go to the link below for that same discount, because it matters what you carry, and upgrading your luggage is going to be an investment well worth the while. Okay, let's hop into those core benefits and how valuable they really are. The first core benefit is the Hilton Honors Diamond status that you get guaranteed when you get the card. Now, Hilton has 4 different levels of status, from Silver through Diamond Reserve, and Diamond is the second highest. Whether you're a maximizer or whether you're just a normal traveler, going out a few times a year, how often you travel is really going to be what moves the needle on this benefit the most. Although there are some bad benefits on this card, Diamond status is, in my opinion, not one of them. You're going to get that daily food and beverage credit or complimentary continental breakfast, and that's providing real value every time you go to a hotel that would otherwise make you pay for breakfast. This credit can be used for up to 2 people, and the value of what you get back is determined by what level of Hilton brand you're staying at, and I'll share the chart with you on your screen now. You'll also get room upgrades and early check-in opportunity and late checkout, and for the Hilton properties that offer it, access to those lounges on site. Now, because the biggest variable in how valuable monetarily this credit's going to be to you is how much you stay and who you're traveling with, your mileage may vary based on your own personal use. But for the normal traveler, I'm estimating this is worth $90. Let's say you're staying 3 nights and you're always staying with a second person throughout the year. We'll put it at the mid-tier, so $30 each night times 3 nights. Let's peg it at $90. Could be more, could be less, but it's a good starting point to eat away at that $550 you have to pay as soon as you're accepted for the card and each anniversary every year thereafter. Core benefit number 2 is the Hilton Resort Credit. And I believe this is one of the most misleading things in terms of your actual experience with the card compared to what you'd think you're getting out of it when you go to apply. This may be one of the most controversial aspects of the video, but I stand by what I say. Now, if you're a credit card maximizer, you're not going to buy into this because you're probably finding ways to work Hilton resorts into your annual trips. However, if you're a normal user, I think this benefit is going to be more frustrating than it is going to be valuable. There are 4 core problems with this credit. First of all, this is not just a Hilton hotel credit. It's a Hilton resort credit and can only be used at properties that are categorized by Hilton as Hilton resorts. Second, there aren't that many Hilton resorts out there. Now, there are thousands and thousands of different Hiltons across the world. However, there's a very limited number of properties that are actually considered Hilton resorts. By my calculations, there's 159 of them in the Americas. And if you filter by the Caribbean, Central America, and Mexico, that goes down to 26. May sound like a lot, but if you're picking a destination that you want to go to, the odds are more often than not that a Hilton resort is not going to be present in that area. You almost have to customize your own trips just based around being able to access a resort. And I'd rather go where I want to go, not just go to where hotels are that I have benefits for. Third, these are expensive properties. You're probably paying upwards of $500 a night to stay here. And of course, you're probably staying multiple nights. You may get over $1,000 a night if you're really willing to spend money. But regardless, if you spend multiple nights at a Hilton resort, your bill is going to be over $1,000. And a $200 discount is good, but it's really not game changing. And that's kind of how I feel about this credit. The last aspect I realistically look at is how much could I actually use this credit? Maybe if I was a normal traveler, I'd go to a Hilton resort every other year at best, but there are just so many places to travel to. And if I'm traveling like a normal person, I'm actually not flying out every couple months to do a different vacation. Realistically, I value this credit as being able to be used once every 2 years. And even that may be a little generous, but still, we'll give it an $100 valuation. That brings your effective annual fee down to $360 for holding the card. Core benefit number 3 is the free night award. This free night certificate is the best benefit on the card, hands down. Whether you're a maximizer or whether you're a normal traveler, you're going to get good value. The difference is how much value can you actually get. Now, the best case scenario, and this will be often employed by credit card maximizers, is just going for the ultimate free night certificate experience. This is when you book at something like the Waldorf Astoria in Chicago. $626 a night, and that's probably on a good night for the property. But as long as you see that it's marked as a standard room, you can book it with this free night certificate. That's what makes Hilton certificates cool and unique. They're not capped at a certain level of points. That could be really enticing when going to get this card. You might think, hey, $626, I'd make up the entire annual fee in just one night's stay. This is a great card. Well, the real life experience doesn't actually match what you see in your head if you're using that example. The real value of how people should be trying to use this and thinking about its worth on the card is what you would normally pay for a standard room when you're traveling normally in cash, and saying the free night certificate wipes away that necessary expense. That's a more accurate representation. The problem is when you separate out a special trip just to max out the certificate, well, you're also going to run into some hidden costs. These include valet parking fees or luxury on-site dining, because everything at a property like the Waldorf Astoria or a similar hotel is uber luxury and has costs associated. You're also probably going to be in an expensive surrounding area. So I highly encourage people not just to try to blindly max out this certificate, thinking they're going to save a ton of money or get a ton of value, because a lot of times those costs creep back in other ways. I'll say that the normal traveler's monetary valuation for this is $250. You're using it for a nice property, but something you'd normally visit. And you're not blowing this out of the water for a place you'd never go. That brings this card's effective annual fee, after 3 core benefits, down to $110. Seems like we're doing okay, right? Well, this has to continue because we need to make more on this card than we're paying in. That brings us to core benefit number 4, $200 in flight credits, broken down quarterly into $50 flight credits. Now, the Maximizer loves this. This is someone who's obsessed with credit cards. And the hack is, if you don't fly in a certain quarter, set a reminder for one of the last days of the month before the quarter ends. And you can use this card to load your United Airlines travel bank, essentially a rolling gift card, and it will work to credit your $50 for that quarter, and you could get your full value just to be redeemed for later. However, when I look at the normal traveler, someone who probably doesn't know United Travel Bank exists, or even if they do, isn't that obsessed with their credit cards to set quarterly reminders and check to see if they've used their credit, and then load another $50 every quarter they have the card, I just don't think you're getting a full value here. I see this $200 credit having an effective real-world value of about half that, $100, maybe used twice throughout the year. That brings the effective annual fee down to just $10 for the Hilton Honors Aspire. However, in my opinion, this is kind of where the benefits on the card run out, and now we're starting to run into some problems. The last core benefit that Hilton really advertises is their Clear Plus credit. Both for a credit card maximizer and a normal traveler, this doesn't really move the needle. Clear Plus effectively at airports that have it allow you to skip past everybody else to go right into the security screening. It can certainly save you time at different airports. However, in my mind, what does a really similar function, although not identically the same, is TSA PreCheck. That often has a shorter line and then allows you to go right through security screening once you've actually gotten there. The end result is the same: saving time, getting to your gate early, and having to spend less time in the sections you don't want to be at in an airport. The thing is, TSA PreCheck is available on almost every travel card, including cards that don't have an annual fee. I mean, this benefit is absolutely everywhere. So while Hilton promotes this as a $209 credit, I really see it as being worth almost nothing, because you're certainly going to get this from some other card that's way cheaper or, again, has no fee. That's why I don't give this any monetary value for a normal traveler when considering how much this card is going to earn you back. After 5 core benefits, you're left with a $10 effective annual fee. Well, you might say, hey, there's still other benefits on this card you're not talking about. And yes, there are. But for me, none of these other accessories really move the needle. There's a $100 property credit valid at the Waldorf Astoria and Conrad, but these hotels are so expensive that most people aren't normally doing cash bookings there anyways. There's cell phone protection, which again is very common on a lot of different credit cards, so odds are you probably have something filling this role already. And there's a bunch of travel protections like car rental, loss and damage insurance, baggage insurance, trip delay, trip cancellation, etc. But these are also commonly held benefits from other cards. At the end of the day, I cannot get over the fact that you'll pay $550 billed from the first month you get the card and then every year since. But your biggest, most useful credits, the Hilton Honors Diamond status, and the free night certificate, they don't even get you close to that annual fee. What I mean is if you took your $550 annual fee and subtracted your $90 for the diamond status, your $250 that you get out of that free night a year, you're left looking at $190 of cost left over to make up. I'd ask you, would you pay for a credit card that had an $190 annual fee, that gave you a resort credit that you're probably not going to be able to use much, gave you quarterly flight credits, and gave you Clear Plus? I think just a few of you to that question would answer yes. Maybe some more of you would answer maybe, but a lot of you are going to answer no. And that's just looking at this to get us breaking even. And I don't want to prepay Hilton $550 when I'm just getting my money back potentially to zero at the end of the year. Credit cards should do way more and give you way more for your loyalty to their brand. Now, again, I'll say, for credit card maximizers and enthusiasts, of which there are many who watch this channel, you could kill it with this card. You could hammer the sign-up bonus, go all in on a multi-Hilton card strategy, get the status, get the points, get the free night certificates, and yes, multiple certificates, but that's not going to be most people. I'm not saying this card is completely useless. I'm saying the card isn't going to give you back what most people have been sold. Especially in this video, I want to hear back from the community. Do you think I'm onto something, or is this complete blasphemy on one of your favorite cards? Either way, thanks so much for watching and hearing what I have to say. I can't wait to see you in the next video.